Welcome to Trending Now USA, where the biggest stories in sports, culture, and celebrity moments unfold in real time. I am Bella, and today we bring you a developing story that has ignited intense debate across the tennis world and sent shockwaves through social media feeds everywhere. Coco Gauff's rival has finally responded, and what began as a quiet exchange of competitive tension has now exploded into full-scale online drama, drawing reactions from fans, former champions, analysts, and athletes from across the sporting landscape. The story begins with Coco Gauff, one of the most recognizable and influential young athletes in the world today. Still early in her career, yet already carrying the weight of expectations once reserved for legends, Gauff has become more than just a tennis star. She is a global figure, a symbol of a new generation, and a player whose words and actions are scrutinized almost as closely as her performances on the court. Every interview, every post-match comment, every social media update becomes part of a larger conversation, and this time, that conversation has turned explosive. Following a high-stakes match that drew massive viewership and sparked debate among fans, tensions between Gauff and one of her most prominent rivals quietly simmered beneath the surface. On the court, the match was fierce, emotional, and filled with momentum swings. Off the court, however, subtle remarks, perceived slights, and cryptic social media activity began to fuel speculation that something deeper was unfolding. Tennis fans, known for their sharp attention to detail, quickly noticed what appeared to be indirect references and carefully worded comments that hinted at unresolved frustration. For days, the online tennis community dissected every word. Screenshots circulated. Clips were replayed. Fans debated intent, tone, and meaning. Was it just competitive fire? Was it misunderstanding? Or was there genuine resentment building between two of the sport's brightest stars? As the speculation grew louder, pressure mounted on Gauff's rival to address the situation directly. And now that response has arrived. In a statement that spread rapidly across platforms within minutes of its release, Gauff's rival broke her silence. The response was measured yet firm, emotional but controlled, and it instantly reframed the narrative. She spoke about respect, competition, and the intensity that comes with performing on the biggest stages. She acknowledged the rivalry without naming it as hostility, but her words carried unmistakable weight. Fans immediately interpreted the message as a direct answer to the ongoing discourse surrounding Coco Gauff. The rival emphasized that competition at the highest level is never simple. She spoke about the mental toll of elite sport, the pressure to perform under constant scrutiny, and the reality that athletes are human, not characters in a storyline crafted for entertainment. At the same time, she made it clear that she would not shy away from standing her ground, signaling that any perceived disrespect would not go unanswered. This balance between vulnerability and strength struck a chord with many viewers. Social media reacted instantly. Supporters of both players flooded comment sections, timelines, and forums. Some praised the response as mature and honest, while others criticized it as unnecessary or provocative. Hashtags began trending within hours, drawing in casual sports fans who may not have followed the rivalry closely before. The drama was no longer confined to tennis circles. It had entered mainstream conversation. Coco Gauff herself became a focal point once again, even without issuing an immediate response. Her past statements, interviews, and public persona were re-examined through the lens of this new development. Supporters pointed to her long-standing reputation for professionalism and composure, arguing that she has consistently shown respect for her opponents. Critics, however, suggested that even unintentional remarks from a figure as influential as Gauff can carry consequences, especially when amplified by millions of followers. Former players and analysts soon weighed in, offering perspectives shaped by experience. Many noted that rivalries have always been part of tennis history, fueling some of the sport's most iconic moments. They reminded audiences that tension does not automatically equate to animosity, and that competition often brings emotions to the surface in unpredictable ways. At the same time, they acknowledged that the modern era, driven by social media, magnifies every interaction, making it harder for athletes to keep disagreements private. One recurring theme in the discussion has been the role of online culture in escalating conflicts. What once might have been resolved quietly between players now becomes a public spectacle. Fans, commentators, and even algorithms play a role in shaping narratives, sometimes pushing athletes into positions where silence is interpreted as guilt and response is seen as escalation. In this environment, every word matters, and every pause invites speculation. As the debate continued, attention turned to upcoming tournaments and potential future matchups between Coco Gauff and her rival. The prospect of seeing them face each other again has taken on new significance. Matches that were already anticipated are now charged with added emotional stakes. Viewers are no longer just watching for athletic excellence. They're looking for body language, gestures, and subtle cues that might hint at lingering tension or reconciliation. Sponsors and organizations have also taken notice. Both players represent major brands and are ambassadors for the sport on a global scale. While no official statements have been made, industry insiders are closely watching how the situation unfolds. Public perception matters, and how athletes navigate moments of controversy can influence opportunities beyond the court. Meanwhile, fans continue to debate the broader implications. Some see the drama as a sign of passion and authenticity, arguing that rivalries make sports more compelling. Others worry that constant scrutiny and online pressure could take a toll on young athletes, particularly those still growing into their roles as public figures. The conversation has expanded beyond a single rivalry, touching on issues of mental health, media responsibility, and the expectations placed on modern sports stars. Coco Gauff's journey has always been defined by resilience and growth. From her breakout moments as a teenager to her rise as a Grand Slam champion, she has navigated challenges with poise. This latest situation adds another layer to her evolving story. Whether she chooses to respond publicly or let her performance speak for itself, her actions in the coming weeks will be closely watched. Her rival, too, stands at a pivotal moment. By choosing to speak out, she has asserted her perspective and reclaimed control of her narrative. Supporters applaud her willingness to address the issue head-on, while critics question whether the response will intensify the spotlight. Regardless, her words have undeniably shifted the conversation and ensured that this rivalry remains at the center of attention. As days pass, the intensity shows no signs of fading. New opinions emerge daily. Commentators analyze phrasing, tone, and timing. Fans create videos, memes, and threads dissecting every detail. What began as a competitive exchange has evolved into a defining moment of the season, illustrating how sports, media, and culture intersect in powerful ways. At its core, this story is about more than drama. It is about two elite athletes navigating the pressures of competition in an era where every moment is shared and judged. It is about how rivalries shape careers and how responses, both spoken and unspoken, can resonate far beyond the court. It is also a reminder that behind the headlines and hashtags are individuals striving to perform at their best under extraordinary circumstances. As the tennis world waits for the next chapter, one thing is certain. The response from Coco Gauff's rival has ensured that this rivalry will be remembered not just for the matches played, but for the conversation it sparked. Whether this moment leads to reconciliation, renewed competition, or something in between remains to be seen. For now, the drama continues to unfold, capturing attention and sparking debate across the globe. You are watching Trending Now USA. I am Bella, and we will continue to follow this story closely as new developments emerge, voices are heard, and the sport's brightest stars write the next pages of their unfolding legacy.